That's a box of coffee for you and Ibrahim.
Where?
That box behind y'all.
Oh, so.
That's all the Peaks coffee.
Is it a custom gaming controller?
Huh?
Is it a custom gaming controller?
I don't know any of this stuff that's up here, man. That's all the kids. I have no idea what all that stuff is.
Just essay.
I think, is it going?
No.
Huh?
No.
Alright. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. So we're now, alhamdulillah, after 4 weeks, continuing at Adab al-Mufrad, inshallah.
Technical difficulties, we've been on pause.
Well, it's not technical difficulties, it's house difficulties and a bunch of other things. So, but alhamdulillah, inshallah, we'll keep it going. You want to get on YouTube, Oreo? Huh? Last time you got on YouTube, they took the video down. Alright, so we stopped in the same bab. And the bab, Husn al-Khuluq, إِذَا فَقَهُ. And we got to hadith number 292, right? Yes or no? Yeah, I want some tea, y'all can go. Shay, it's safe.
Wait, why isn't it safe with us?
How are you doing something? No.
تعال ها. اسكت لهم الشهي.
Oh yeah. I'll open it up here.
I'm telling y'all, man, this is
Where's that find? No, mine has my name written in it.
this
okay.
tea is probably you might have a hard time going to sleep tonight, man.
Why? What is it?
Is it how much caffeine?
That's English breakfast tea.
Oh, it's just cumpleaños. Oh, like ربع.
Yeah, don't pour the whole cup.
ربع.
I don't know how much that thermos is gonna.
Cause I'm on a no caffeine.
You're on a no caffeine what?
Diet.
Yeah.
Oh, you about to break that tonight?
Cheat night.
Yeah.
Cheap meal. Yep.
All right. So hadith number 292. حدثنا موسى بن إسماعيل قال حدثنا إبراهيم بن سعد قال أخبرنا ابن شهاب. من هو ابن شهاب؟ الزهري. عن عبيد الله بن عبد الله بن عتبة أن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما قال كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أجود الناس بالخير وكان أجود ما يكون في رمضان. So here Ibn Abbas رضي الله عنهما, he's reporting that the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم was أجود الناس. What does أجود mean? Huh? Here it means like generous. But Joda in the Arabic language, generally it means like the quality of something, like it's good quality. Alright, you know. So Ajwad, I mean, generally it's like the best quality. Alright. You say like, for example, like these dates, like, you know, and the Joda Tuna'aliyah, you know, like a high quality, like the quality of something. But here, Ajwad al-Nasi bil Khair means he was the most generous. And you know, the most generous of people. And whenever he had anything, he wouldn't withhold it from the people. He said, وَكَانَ أَجْوَدَ مَا يَكُونُ فِي رَمَضَانِ. And he would become the most generous during Ramadan. حين يلقاه جبريل عليه السلام وكان جبريل يلقاه في كل ليلة من رمضان. So he said this was the time that Jibril would come down. And what would Jibril do with him every night?
Recite Quran.
Yeah, he would revise the Quran with him. How many times?
Right, one time every Ramadan.
Except for
the year of his death.
the year of his death, how many times?
Twice.
He did it 2 times. Alright, so وكان جبريل يلقاه في كل ليلة من رمضان يعرض عليه رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم القرآن فإذا لقيه Jibril, so the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم would present the Quran to him. He would recite the Quran to him, and he said فإذا لقيه جبريل. So if Jibril met him, كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أجود بالخير من الريح المرسلة. So he was more how can I say this? أجود بالخير, like he was more generous than the wind. You know that wind that brings how do they translate the Rih al-Mursala.
He was more generous in giving alms than the blowing wind.
Yeah, but it's like the blowing wind when it comes, because it brings a nice breeze, and a lot of the times it brings rain. It brings like the rizq from Allah. But it, especially on the hot days, that breeze that comes, it cools down the heat. So he was more generous than that. So yeah, which shows that he had extreme generosity in his time. But this was his nature throughout the whole time. And then you see how Bukhari now he brought this hadith, and in the next chapter he's about to, the next chapter is going to be Bab al-Bukhl. So he's talking about this that this generosity is a part of this good character. And a good character, of course, you see that this is the character that he had throughout the entire year, but in Ramadan, and that's not just the case with his generosity, with all types of good. He used to, what's the hadith about the Prophet ﷺ in Ramadan? كان يجتهد في رمضان ما لا يجتهد في غيره وفي العشر الأواخر فيه ما يجتهد في غيره. So that the Prophet ﷺ, he used to work harder in Ramadan in worship than he would work throughout the rest of the year, than any other month. And, of course, we know the hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha, in which she said, كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقوم الليل حتى تتفطر قدماه. And this is outside of Ramadan, that he used to stand up at night until his feet were swollen and cracked. And she said, لماذا تصنع هذا يا رسول الله وقد غفر لك ما تقدم من ذنبك وما تأخر. And she asked him, she said, why do you do this? And all of your previous sins and future sins have been forgiven. He said, ألا أكون عبدا شكورا. Should I not be a thankful slave? So this was his worship outside of Ramadan, just his normal worship. So imagine now that, يجتهد في رمضان ما لا يجتهد في غيره. That he works more diligently in Ramadan than he'll work in any other month. And then وفي العشر الأواخر, and then in the last 10 nights, ما لا يجتهد في غيره. And in the last 10 nights, more than he works harder in those last 10 nights than he works in all of the other nights of Ramadan. So that's when he used to put out the most effort. What did Aisha say about the last 10 nights? What did he used to do?
I don't remember.
Come on, man. كان يوقظ أن يأخذ أهله وأحيا ليله وشد مئزره. Those three things. He's like sticking his head out around the curtain. He would stay up the whole entire night, wake up his family to get them to pray, and ويشد مئزره. And what do we say that means?
He would
Tighten his izar, but what does that mean when the Arabs say يشد مئزره?
so you could easy do some hard work.
Yeah. What's the other statement of the ulama?
About stand up for a long time.
The correct opinion is that he's preparing for hard work. And as the Arab, they يشد المئزر, they tighten up their izar when they're about to do hard work so it doesn't come loose when they're working. But some of the ulama, they have another opinion, which is what? As I يشد مئزره, it means that he would refrain from having any relations with his family in the last 10 nights. Which is definitely true. It's definitely true that he used to refrain from relations with his family, but that's not because of just the last 10 nights of Ramadan. That's because of what?
Because it makes you weaker.
No. How's the tea?
Yeah, that's really good.
Is the sugar alright?
Yeah. Wow.
I've never done this in a thermos. Like, I've done this before in a thermos, but I haven't done it in this thermos. So I was just guessing, man. I was just throwing tea in, throwing sugar in. I'm like, Bismillah.
Oh, yeah, that's really good.
That's it. Tamam.
Yeah, I'd rather Adani tea that the Yemenis bring in Ramadan. Yeah, it's so amazing.
Did you make it?
No, yeah.
This is my coffee replacement tea. This is what he does. He gets here. This is why my hand looks like that right now. From this, he gets here and he boxes me, and then I box him back. Then he gets angry, and then like when he gets angry, he starts to really claw you. He gets frustrated. What was I saying though? That was it. We asked the final.
Like, why did he not do relations?
Yeah, because he was in there at the calf.
Oh, yeah.
Duh.
Mm.
Can't do relations with your family when you're in there at the calf. You want to get on YouTube, huh? Y'all checking the chat, making sure
I have to get back to it.
y'all forget your jobs.
Oh, wow. We actually have 16 people.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Good warm up. All right, we're going to try to finish up because we're only doing Adab al-Mufrad today, so we're going to try to finish up this chapter, inshallah. All right. All right, so, yeah, Saif, give me my book.
Did you notice anything?
What was that? You're Palestinian today or what?
No, us three.
Huh?
No, us three. Us three.
Y'all went and stole. Did y'all buy them or they just gave them to you?
No,
They gave y'all the jackets?
not really bought them. Well, no, استحية أنا.
You noticed that?
Yeah. We all did. I was like, he didn't notice it? I was like,
But that hadith in 292 is Bukhari and Muslim. It's muttafaqun alayh.
no, even if you were for free, I still would have paid for it.
I'm sitting there reading this whole time from his book
This dude, Abdullah,
and not realizing.
stop interrupting the classes.
Yeah, he needs stuff in
Who said that?
Abdullah.
Abdullah.
Mm.
By the way, Abdullah, that's Abdullah, sorry.
The singer, yeah.
Yeah. I have 3 books here for you. So y'all make sure those get to Abdullah. With that matun of Al-Aqidah. And those 3 books. Alright, so hadith number 293. حدثنا محمد بن سلام قال أخبرنا أبو معاوية عن الأعمش عن شقيق عن أبي مسعود الأنصاري رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم حسب رجل ممن كان قبلكم فلم يوجد له من الخير شيء إلا أنه كان رجلا يخالط الناس وكان موسرا فكان يأمر غلمانه أن يتجاوزوا عن المعسر قال الله عز وجل نحن أحق بذلك منه تجاوزوا عنه. This hadith is also in Sahih Muslim. Alright, so here we have a hadith in Abi Mas'ud al-Ansari radiallahu anhu, in which he said that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Husiba ar-rajulu mimman kana qablakum." Husiba here, what is it talking about?
You mean like captured?
No. Huh?
Oh, Husiba, like a man taken to account.
Yeah. Alright, so he's being like this is on the day of judgment. He's being brought to account. So he said, "Husiba rajulun." Well, this is rajulun mimman kana qablakum. So this is from the person from before you. فَلَمْ يُوجَدْ لَهُ مِنَ الْخَيْرِ شَيْءٌ. So they didn't find there wasn't any good that this man ever did. You know, he never did any good. إِلَّا, except for one thing. أَنَّهُ كَانَ رَجُلًا يُخَالِطُ النَّاسِ. What does that mean?
He would mix with the people.
Yeah, he would intermingle and mix with the people. وَكَانَ مُوسِرًا. What does that mean?
Kind of moves it. Like he was someone who was very like an easygoing guy.
No. You say musir, رجل من كان ذا مال. He has money, a lot of money. He's rich because he has like money and sa'a, you know, ease in his life. You know, so he's not like he's not struggling for anything. You know, kind of like like a child of a billionaire. You know, he's like, "Oh, Dad, so well, why'd you buy me a Porsche? You know, I wanted a Rolls Royce or something. You know." Like one of those things. But he wasn't like this. I'm just saying, like, you know, just where it's just like he's got ease. You know, he's not struggling to pay the, bills for a Toyota Camry or something like that. All right. All right, so try to keep his electricity.
He's throwing jabs at us. You throwing jabs at me and him?
No.
We both have cameras up. No.
I don't.
No.
Well, like, if you ask me what type of car you have, I couldn't even tell you.
Really?
Yeah.
What about him?
I don't pay attention to that stuff.
Subaru.
Huh?
Subaru.
Subaru?
Yeah, I got a Subaru. What makes it super?
What are these little things in here?
Probably tea leaves.
Nah.
No, it's because it's not, it's tea leaves. It's like, this is the best tea. Next time we'll do Earl Grey, inshallah. But that's the only two black teas I drink is English breakfast tea and the Earl Grey tea. So, all right. So وَكَانَ مُوسِرًا فَكَانَ يَعْمُرُ غِلْمَانَهُ, and he used to tell his sons, and يَتَجَاوَزُ عَنِ الْمُعْصِرِ. What does that mean? غِلْمَانَهُ, it could mean his sons, or it could mean his servants, like his young servants, or the people that work, like the young people that work for him. But what does that last part mean? And يَتَجَاوَزُ عَنِ الْمُعْصِرِ.
Like to leave, to overlook the one who makes things hard.
And the mu'sir in the Arabic language, it means the opposite of a musir, the poor person. And we use it a lot in Islam, like in the fiqh, to mean the person who's unable, because of his poverty, he's unable to repay his debts. You know, but it generally in the Arabic language, in mu'sir, it refers to any person who's poor. You know, he doesn't have ease, he doesn't have sa'a, he doesn't have the mal. You know, the mu'sir more than likely owed him money, and they couldn't repay it. So he would tell either his sons or whoever was working for him to what? You know, pardon them. Pardon anybody that has like difficulties and they're impoverished and they can't repay anything, to forgive them and, you know, pardon them. So it says, قال الله عز وجل, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said what? نحن أحق بذلك منه. We have more right to do that than him. As far as what? Because he's coming on the day of judgment. See, he had, you know, he's musir, right? In this life. I'm trying to get comfortable here, man. He's musir in this life, but he's coming on the day of judgment with what? No, he's got no good. The only thing that he's got good is what?
Oh, good character.
No, that he did this. This one action. So now he's the mu'sir, right? On the day of judgment. He's the muflis. Because he's going to come on the day of judgment, but he has, well, the muflis is the one that has nothing. He has very little. So he's impoverished as far as the good deeds. So now he's coming on the day of judgment, but throughout his life, he always pardoned the people who were poor. He would only take the money from the people that had the money. And the people that were impoverished and all that, he would forgive them and pardon them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that we have more right to that than him, to pardon the person who what? Can't repay, you know, and he's coming on the day of judgment, mu'sir. فَمِنْهُ تَجَاوَزُ عَنْهُ. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded that what? He also be pardoned because of this deed that he did. Like I said, this hadith is in Sahih Muslim. Alhamdulillah, man, that shows the, you know, subhanAllah, you never know.
Marbles or guns?
He's got this boat, and the cat, we sit here and listen to this all day long sometimes, because he hits it, and he watches it roll down the floor. And he'll hit it, and watch it roll, and he's going to keep doing this until he knocks it under a table.
That's a marble?
No, it's a boat. It's like a screw with a bolt on it, and it just rolls.
That's that?
Yeah, it's the cat hitting it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That thing sounds crazy.
Well, he does this all day. He did actually have a marble at one time, but I don't know where he knocked it somewhere. I don't know. He just loves to like sit there and listen to it.
It sounds like a video game.
That's what it is, a marble or gun.
He's doing it all day today. All day. Alright, so, but I mean, that goes to show, like, I mean, subhanAllah. Like the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, well, how's the hadith go? And subhanAllah, I forgot the first word of the hadith. But he said, la taqra, but it's not qara. He didn't use the word qara. من المعروف شيئا ولو يعني بشق ولو لا تحقر يعني من المعروف شيئا ولو بشق تمرة. You know, so don't belittle and don't despise any good deed, even if it's just given like a half of a date. You know, so we never know what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is gonna, subhanAllah, you never know. I mean, look how many people we see, the different stories in the Sunnah. The man who saw a dog, it was like, panting out of thirst, and he said, called because he himself was very thirsty. Then he found a well, and he drank from the well. Then he saw the dog panting and panting from thirst, and he said, this dog is afflicted with the same thing that I was afflicted with. So he went there and grabbed like a piece of cloth or something and went and brought it out of the well and let the dog drink from it, and that became a means for him entering into Jannah. So Allah musta'an. You never know. What deed. Look at this man. All he didn't no khair in his whole entire life. No khair, but mashallah. Except for that one thing. Whenever he saw a person in difficulties, he tried to make things easy for them. Now the people nowadays, what do? They see you in difficulties, they do what?
Yeah, they get happy.
Yeah, and they make it more difficult for you. They want to put you in more difficulties. So I mean, subhanAllah. And that goes back to the, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. The hadith, من نفس مؤمنا من كربة من كرب الدنيا نفس الله عنه كربة من كرب يوم القيامة ومن يسر على معسر يسر الله عليه في الدنيا والآخرة ومن ستر مسلما ستره الله في الدنيا والآخرة والله في عون العبد ما كان العبد في عون إيش؟ في عون أخيه.
You said Allah. You said Allah said.
That's
why I said إن أكرمكم عند الله.
No. I didn't mean that. I meant the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said. So so you look at that hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said what? ما نفس مؤمنا كربة من كرب الدنيا نفس الله عنه كربة من كرب يوم القيامة. What does that mean?
Relieves his brother alone.
Like
whoever relieves him from debt.
It's not debt.
Hardship.
Hardship.
Yeah.
Whoever relieves a Muslim from a hardship in this dunya, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will relieve hardships from him on the day of judgment. وَمَنْ يَسَّرَ عَلَى مُعْسِرٍ يَسَّرَهُ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ. And whoever makes things easy on a person who's finding difficulty repaying a loan or a debt because of poverty, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make things easy for him in this life and the next. And here you see that in that hadith. And then after that he said, وَمَنْ سَتَرَ مُسْلِمًا what? And whoever covers up the faults of a Muslim. Now we're talking about the general faults, right? We're not talking about covering up the faults of criminals and people who, يَسْعَوْنَ فِي الْأَرْضِ فَسَادًا. For the people who spread corruption in the land, we don't cover up their faults. As protection for the Muslims that we speak out against their faults. We let the people know to protect them. To cover up the faults of criminals is what?
Haram.
It's haram and it's criminal. It's criminal. So you expose criminals. And they should be exposed. Allah musta'an. So, then after that he said, the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah fi aun al-abd, ma kana al-abdu fi aun akhihi. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in the assistance of his servant, as long as the servant is what?
Servant of his brother.
And the assistance of his brother. As long as he continues to assist his brother, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will continue to assist him.
Where's Mujahid?
I think he fell asleep. Is he asleep or no? Alright. So Hadathana 294. What is that? Which feet? Huh?
I want to see his camera.
Y'all can sit on that or y'all can sit on that. Or you can just sit on the exercise bike. If you sit on the exercise bike, you gotta work out the whole time. Alright, so 294. حدثنا محمد بن سلام عن ابن إدريس قال سمعت أبي يحدث عن أجدي عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه. And this is a hadith we've already taken 2 times. And I honestly, I don't know why he repeated it right here. Because he literally just had it right here. So it's hadith number 289. So why he repeated it again in the same chapter, well, I don't know. But we'll just read it. Maybe he did it for the chain of narration. That's the only possibility I can think of, because it is a different chain of narration. But it's literally the same hadith otherwise. Alright. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه سئل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ما أكثر ما يدخل الجنة قال تقوى الله وحسن الخلق قال وما أكثر ما يدخل النار قال الأجوفان الفم والفرج. So he said, Abu Hurairah, he reported that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked, what is the one thing that's going to is going to cause a lot of most of the people to be the biggest cause of the people entering into Jannah? And he said, taqwa Allahi wa husnul khulq. So having taqwa and having good character. He said, قال وما أكثر ما يدخل النار. What is the one thing that's gonna the biggest thing that's gonna get the people to enter into the fire? قال الأجوفان الفم والفرج. So he said the two things are what? The mouth and the private parts. And like I said, we spoke about this. This hadith is Sahih. The asl of it was it Sahih Muslim. 289. The asl of it, sorry, is in Tirmidhi. That's the asl. Alright, the last hadith, 295. Alright, حدثنا إبراهيم ابن المنذر. He's al-Hizami. قال حدثنا معن. And this man, I had to go do all this. This is the one where I had to go do all the Tahdib al-Kamal. Ma'an is Ma'an ibn Isa al-Qazzaz. Ma'an ibn Isa al-Qazzaz. Alright, because this hadith, 295, the asl of it is in Sahih Muslim. Right? But this chain of narration is not in Sahih Muslim. Ma'an ibn Isa al-Qazzaz is a student of Anas ibn Malik ibn Anas, Imam Malik. And he mentioned from a narration from Ishaq ibn Musa al-Ansari, he says, سمعت معنا يقول كل شيء من الحديث الموطأ سمعته من مالك إلا ما استثنيت أني عرضته عليه. So he said, every single hadith in al-Muwatta, I heard it from Malik, from his mouth, right? Except for, he said, and he made an exception, he said, except for the ones that I read to him. So he said, every single hadith, either he heard it directly from Malik ibn Anas, al-Imam Malik, rahimahullah, or he read it to him. And he's one of the strongest people of the hadith of Imam Malik. And he's thiqah, so and Muawiyah here, Muawiyah ibn Salih, ibn Hudayr al-Hadrami. Now, mashallah, you're going to have a whole chain of Hadrami al-Hadarami. So, Muawiyah is Hadrami. The next two narrators are also from Hadramaut, Aslan, but they weren't like raised in Hadramaut. And Abdurrahman ibn Jubair al-Hadrami. And Abihi is Jubair ibn Nufayl al-Hadrami. And Nawas ibn Sam'an al-Ansari, not Hadrami, but Yemeni. Because al-Ansar is what? The Asla is from Yemen. Alright, أنه سأل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عن البر والإثم قال البر حسن الخلق والإثم ما حك في نفسك وكرهت أن يطلع عليه الناس. So like I said, this hadith, the asl of it is in Sahih Muslim. This chain of narration is in a Darimi, but it is authentic. This chain of narration is authentic. Alright, but the original chain of narration is in Sahih Muslim. For the people that love chains of narration, حدثني محمد بن حاتم ابن ميمون حدثنا ابن مهدي عن معاوية ابن صالح عن عبد الرحمن ابن جبير ابن نفير عن أبيه عن النواس. So the hadith, it goes through what? Muawiyah ibn Salih. Alright. And then from Muawiyah ibn Salih, what? It branches off to other people. Alright. This is if you're in Damaj, well, you're not going to be in Damaj ever, but if you're sitting amongst the sheikh or the students at the Maj and they ask you al-madar al-hadith ala man, and that's what that is. Because there's different chains of narration, but you see that all the chains, they go through what? Generally, they go from this person to that person, and then that person, his students, and then they start to branch off. All right. Sometimes it could be 2 people down in the chain, 3 people down in the chain, wherever it goes to, and then it just branches off to a whole bunch of other students. All right. So here he said, so this is Nawas ibn Sam'an al-Ansari radiyallahu anhu. He said, that he asked the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam an al-birr wal-itham. He asked him about righteousness, and he asked him about what?
Sin.
About sin. Come on, Dad. Dad. It's like, I don't know, man. I just don't feel comfortable with all this. So he asked him about righteousness and sin. And he said, قال البر حسن الخلق. And he said, righteousness is what?
Good character.
It's good character, because it comprises everything. You know, good character is everything. You know, it's obedience to Allah, obedience to His Messenger. You know, everything that we see, birr al-walidain, you know, iqam as-salat, wa ita' az-zakat, all of these things are from husn al-khuluq. He said, وَالْإِثْمُ مَا حَكَّ فِي نَفْسِكَ. Now here he said hakka. The asl of the hadith in Sahih Muslim, he said what? Haka, with an alif. Alright, so hakka, and you know, we say like hakka shay fi sadr, you know, waqa'a fi khaladihi, wa akhtara bi balihi. So it's like, it just sits there and it's just like, it's constantly on his mind. When he does something wrong, he's constantly what? And this is with the meaning of hakka. But if you look in the narration that's in Sahih Muslim, it says haka. You say haka al-itham fi sadr, and he rasakha fi. Rasakha fi, it means what?
Stay firm.
Yeah, it becomes like anchored in itself. He can't get rid of it, like the guilt and the feeling, and like he knows he did something wrong. It just sits there like وَيَتَرَدَّدْ فِي الصَّدْرِ. All right. So he's saying that al-birr husn al-khuluq. So the righteousness is good character. Well, and sin is that, you know, that thing that just sits inside yourself, like, you know, it keeps bothering you and bothering you and bothering you. You know, like, this is wrong. And that's why you see the people, you know, there's one rule in life. It's very simple, right? If you have to justify something, what? It's wrong. If it's right, you have evidence for it. Quran and Sunnah, khalas, that's it. You know, if you're doing something right, you have evidence for it. If this is the correct understanding, you have evidence for it. The ulama, this is their understanding. The ulama of the salaf, this is their understanding. Khalas. You know, you're like mutamain, right? But if you're like trying to justify things, that means khalas, man. How are you going to sit here and be murtah? You're like, what? You're mutarab al-sadr. You're always going to have this, you know, this thing inside you, built in this you know, so you know, once you have to justify something, you know you're wrong. You know you're wrong. He said, وَكَرَهْتَ أَنْ يَطَّلِعَ عَلَيْهِ نَاسٍ, and you dislike that what? أَنْ يَطَّلِعَ عَلَيْهِ نَاسٍ. What does that mean?
That the people find out about it.
Yeah, that the people see you doing that thing that you're trying to hide. So if you know, because obviously if you're doing something, I mean, it's all right. People like to hide their good deeds. You know, like the Salaf, they used to hide their good deeds, like they used to hide their what? Their bad deeds. You know, even to some point, like, you know, I read different narrations, different individuals amongst the Salaf, that when people would come in, he'd be reciting the Quran. But as soon as somebody came in, he would, you know, he would close it up and hide it, because he just didn't want the people to see what he was doing. You know, so they would hide their good deeds also, but that's not because of what? Because they're ashamed of doing it. They hide their good deeds because of what? Yeah, they want to protect their sincerity. You know, they're afraid that the people start praising them, then they'll start to, you know, it might start to mess up their sincerity.
Grow arrogant.
Huh?
Grow arrogant.
Yeah, grow arrogant, and then you start to try to do things to, you know, impress the people, you know. But with the sins, you hide those because what?
Shame.
It's shame. You feel ashamed. You should. If you don't feel ashamed, then Allah musta'an, you know. So like the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, The hadith what? إذا لم تستحي what?
إن مما أدرك الناس من كلام الموت الأولى إذا لم تستحي فاصنع ما شئت.
That's not my shit. So what does that mean? Does that mean that the Prophet ﷺ is commanding him to do whatever he pleases?
No.
Huh? What's the understanding of this hadith?
According to whatever.
إذا كان الإنسان لا يستحي فسيصنع ما شاء. So if a person doesn't have shyness,
He's gonna do whatever.
he's gonna and modesty, he's gonna do whatever he wants because there's nothing to stop him, to give him that limitation. Like he has no boundaries because he has no shame, he has no shyness, he has no so he's gonna do whatever he wants, no doubt. So this is just talking about, this is a khabar. So this is not giving a person a like, oh, you don't have any shame, go do whatever you want. No, it's saying that this is the reality of the situation, that the person that doesn't have that modesty, that he's gonna do whatever he wants. So I mean, no doubt, if you have to sit there and justify things and try to make it like, no, but you don't understand. See, that's not what I'm doing it because no, actually, come on, you already messed up. We take questions and then go home. Go home.
Questions and go home.
I said we'll take some questions and then we go home.
Oh.
This is what we're gonna talk about.
Well, you don't understand what he's saying. We're gonna take some questions and go home.
Yeah.
Go home.
I'm already home.
He's
That's a joke.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. You might want to drink some more tea, man. I should do to y'all like what Sheikh Muhammad ibn Adam al-Ethiopi rahimahullah did to brother and Sardi, man.
Is there more tea though? That tea was
Yeah,
good.
he's
Oh.
pouring some.
Yeah, I think it was great.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to taste like that.
Oh yeah, no, it was good.
That's what the Sheikh did to the brother.
Well,
He went to sit with the Sheikh Muhammad ibn Adam, started asking him a lot of questions. And every time that he would try to ask him a question, Sheikh Muhammad would just give him tea and say, drink some more tea, drink some more tea. And there's a brother in Saudi. He went to go sit with Sheikh Muhammad ibn Adam in Ethiopia before he died. This is a while back. He said and he didn't like to be asked questions about people. Like, what do you say about Fulan? And they were trying to ask him questions, and he just kept giving them tea. Drink some more tea, drink some more tea. Hi, shut up, Sheikh, give a Sheikh, Where y'all going?
Yeah.
What to say? I thought we just said do some questions. I
You
thought
should
y'all
go
leaving.
home. You should go home.
do you have an extra one of these?
Huh?
Do you have an extra one of these?
No, man, those are for Abdullah. Those are the extra ones. You think I'm gonna give him my last copies of stuff?
I'll take it. I even have this one.
Huh?
Take these two.
These are Abdullah's, man. Abdullah, let me show the books that I. So he knows.
I was actually looking for this book.
Well, now you had
my book. Now there was
3 books, all right, and 1 method. All right.
to get 3 notebooks from Dollar General. Yeah, hey, these are the 3 books that I'm giving to you, right?
Ibrahim, you're gonna have to ask the questions. Hamza.
Too much tea for Hamza.
Yeah. I think he woke up.
No. I felt so much better without caffeine in the past couple days.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't.
And my body shut down for like 2 weeks, and then after that, my body just woke up.
I had a question for Hadith 292. It was talking about how the angel Jibreel alayhi salam revised the Quran. Is that why we pray Taraweeh during Ramadan?
No, this is the general reason why the people, they try to read the Quran as much as they can and revise the Quran a lot in Ramadan.
Okay.
So that's why, like Imam Ahmed, rahimahullah, once Ramadan came in, he would put Hadith away. And he'd only focus on the Quran the entire month. He wouldn't read Hadith, he wouldn't read anything, he'd only read the Quran. But the Taraweeh is based on the fact that the Prophet ﷺ, he went out and he prayed with the people for 2 nights. Some say 3 nights, some say it's different narrations. But so it was either the 3rd or the 4th night. The people came out, but he didn't come out. And he said, أنا رأيت أني ما صنعتم البارحة, or الليلة. Said I saw what y'all were doing tonight. He said, and you know, ما تركت إلى إيش يعني أنا كنت أخشى أن يفرض عليكم or something of that nature with the hadith. He said, I only left it because I was afraid that it would become obligatory upon you. You know, the standing up at night in prayer in congregation. He said that he left it off because he said he feared that it would become an obligation. So that's the reason why we pray the Tarawih. But the Tarawih, I mean, it came official in the time of Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu. He went into the masjid and he saw the people, they were praying. Like people were praying in different groups in the masjid. And when he saw them doing that, he said, you know, it would be better if they just come together all with one imam. And that's where the Tarawih started, like officially. But I mean, it started with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but it didn't continue in his lifetime. But he did do it for those 3 nights, 2 nights, 3 nights, whatever, whichever narration you choose.
How were the Sahaba when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away? How were the Sahaba when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away?
I don't know.
Is it true that Bilal left Medina because of his depression?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm just saying the sadness of it. I mean, I was there when Sheikh Mubal died. And I watched the students that sat with Sheikh Mubal for years coming out the masjid in tears that night, broken. And this is a sheikh. And you talking about the messenger of Allah. They spent years with, they fought battles with, they spent all their time with. Yeah, that would destroy you. You know, I mean, obviously everybody's gonna die, and they knew that. They knew that he wasn't gonna live forever, but still, you know. You look at Omar, man. He got, you know. So anybody said that he died, you know, he was ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? So,
Then he said like, I'll cut his head off.
Yeah, if you tell me this, yeah, he was ready to fight over that, man. That's how it goes. Yeah. Because the love for a person who's giving you knowledge, the love for an alim, man, I think that's beyond the, you know, you sit with a sheikh for years and years and years and years, you're going to be closer to him than you are to your own family.
Oh, for sure.
So that's going to hurt, man. Go ahead, question.
Is it permissible for a man to control his wife's money, like control where she spends it, and prevents her from spending on buying certain things? Like he prevents her for paying for other sisters' meals while they're out?
I mean, he shouldn't prevent her from doing good with the money, wasting it. You know, but if she's doing something good with it and they're not in need of it, it shouldn't stop her from doing khair. But I mean, as far as just going around wasting money, you know, the woman, I mean, generally in a relationship, in a marriage, the woman should be the one.
Receiving everything.
No, I'm saying she should be the one thinking about, like, you know, the tight-fisted one, like we say, you know. Y'all still say this nowadays?
Tight-fisted?
Tight-fisted. It means you hold on to your money. Y'all don't say this in California. This is a southern thing.
No, we hear it.
Huh? Like tight-fisted, it means that you hold on to your money, like you don't want to let it go. That's how the women's supposed to be. The man is supposed to be stupid with his money, because the man, we don't really, like, the money is not supposed to be like important for us like that. You know, it's possessions. Like, generally, like a man, he wants stuff that's gonna get him the girl. So he only likes those possessions because of what? It impresses the girl. But in reality, you look, man, come on, a man can sit out in the middle of a forest, and be happy.
Sleep in his car overnight, and he doesn't care.
But I mean, the woman should be the one controlling the money. If you got the woman just out there spending money, you're going to have a bad marriage. You're going to have a bad marriage. So if the man is the one who has, see, the thing is that the man is the one who has, you know, that ability to manage the money properly, then he should be taking control of the money and making sure that the money goes to where it needs. I mean, they have children, You know, once you start to when you get married and you have kids, you can't think about like, oh, I want to buy this, I want to buy that, I want to buy that. Yeah, you got children now. You got to think about them, their future, and what you're trying to leave behind for them. So Woman's out there just spending on everything, just being all super generous with all the money and acting foolish. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, وَلَا تُعْتُوا سُفَهَاءَ أَمْوَالَكُمُ الَّتِي جَعَلَ لَكُمْ. But the sufaha here, it means what? According to the people of tafsir, what? وَلَا تُعْتُوا سُفَهَاءَ أَمْوَالَكُمْ. What is the sufaha? The women and the children. Well, it's more general than that. But this is one of the people of tafsir. They said what? Women and children. Because women and children, they're like, you go and give your children $20, $30 and say, here you go. And what do? They go in a supermarket and they spend it on some stupid PlayStation card that benefits them nothing, right? Mm-hmm. And they're not going to think about using that money for something important or saving that money to buy a car in the future. Or, you know what I'm saying? The kids are going to waste it on something dumb. They'll go spend it on a toy that they're not going to use in 2 weeks from now. Like, look at my son over here. This is Esed, right?
Oh, smartwatch.
I get a smartwatch for him, get a helicopter for him, and he'll sit there like get all happy 1 week, and then it's just thrown all over the place. It's wasted.
Mujahid said that smartwatch is the dumbest watch.
Yeah, it was the dumbest watch, and if you just read the Amazon reviews, he wouldn't have bought it. But I was like, all right, whatever, man.
But so
they were talking about you, Esed.
So is the ruling that a man can control his wife's money?
If he's the one that he's the authority of the house, and that's the asl. So I mean, he's the Qawwam, so he has control. And if she's not, especially if she's not good at controlling the money, then he's got to control it. So otherwise, she's just gonna, what is it? Just because the man works and the woman works at what? And the woman benefit, like he pays for everything and she could just spend her money on having fun while he works. And there's got to be some type of equality there, right?
She better not be working in the first place.
Huh?
She shouldn't be working in the first place.
No, I'm saying she doesn't need to be working. Maybe she's sewing women's clothes for females or something. She's got some type of hustle going where she's making money of her own. But she's not going to share it. She's just going to take that money and spend it and waste it and not use it for the family. I mean, whatever comes to that house is for the family. It's not just for her. The same thing. The man, he's out there working. He just hold the money for himself. Doesn't feed his children, doesn't buy his wife clothes, doesn't do all this other stuff. So, it's foolish. So,
first off, everyone's telling you, like, welcome back. Fatima said, we missed you. She said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah. We missed you. Correction, we've.
Yeah, you're going to continue to miss me as far as in the masjid.
Then Hanif said, obviously, brothers, they forgot, but it says, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh. Welcome back, Alhamdulillah, with exclamation marks. But what books do you recommend for Nawaqid al-Islam? Like explanations?
Whatever you find. It's just an easy book. It's just self-explanatory. The method itself is self-explanatory. Well, you can get Sheikh Salih Fawzan as an explanation of it.
Simple.
Huh?
Simple.
Yeah, I mean, most of the shuruh of Nawaqid al-Islam is, what, like 10 pages, 12 pages. So.
And if you want something more simple, why don't you go for Sheikh Abdul Razak al-Badr?
All of the explanation. I mean, like I said, the method itself is pretty much self-explanatory. But the only thing is maybe like, like I said, he might bring more evidence about those issues and give more evidence. But I mean, other than that, khalas, I mean, the method itself is self-explanatory. I mean, that's not like a class even when we used to study that in the Damaj, it's like 4 or 5 days. 4 or 5 days, so. Honestly, you could teach it all in 1 day if you really wanted to, but.
Hamid says, I was going to ask, there's a thief in New York, and there's brothers saying we shouldn't expose them in group chats because we're not hiding their sins. Please check this. Please, this is a very recent, this thief is going around giving lectures.
The thief is going around giving lectures about what?
And also, just because
stealing methods, stealing tutorials.
I should go get my Pro Club jacket. Put my Pro Club jacket on too, man.
Yeah, it's comfortable.
It is. That's nice.
Yeah, that fur right here.
I told you, that's why I was up in that mess was freezing cold, man. I was like, I'm dressed up in the blanket, man.
You got extra large?
Huh?
You got extra large?
I don't know what they gave me.
'Cause I got large. He got 2 of them. He got.
Oh yeah, he forgot to bring his, so he went to Legends and bought the
Oh,
other
so you
one.
bought another one? Oh my god.
And
But now I have one for work, so.
There you go, man.
Speaking of Pro Club, we're in Pro Club right now.
Gangsters, man.
It's comfortable and it's cheap.
I don't even think you can buy this stuff outside of California.
I don't think either.
I've never seen Pro Club in my whole entire life, man.
I
until
wore
came out
this
here.
short during my own nikah.
I was even trying to find this stuff on Amazon. Okay, it's not even popular on Amazon. Like,
Yeah, it's California, big in California.
yeah, a lot of stuff. Like even those like long dicky shorts. Never seen
yeah.
them. As soon as I got out here, I saw them. I'm like, nah, man, I gotta buy those.
Because there's a lot of Mexicans here.
Yeah, and they like those long shorts.
yeah.
Yeah,
And,
'cause
like
like-
Nike Cortez.
Yeah.
I'm on NC.
Nah, cause like over in Florida, you get the dickies like the cargo shorts, and they're long. You know, they cover up your knees, but not like these, man. These are like long.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, like prison shorts.
Yeah.
Oh, what is that?
That's somebody snoring. Go ahead. That's a part of coming to the house.
He says, and also just because some brothers have good experience with that brother and he has done good for them, that's why they don't want to warn against him.
I mean, if he's a thief stealing from the Muslims, you gotta, again, it's about protecting the Muslims. You can't be quiet about stuff like that, because if you're quiet about that, you know, you're quiet about, you remaining quiet is gonna cause him to do what?
Do more for them.
Yeah, exactly. Steal from another Muslim. So, I mean, if people are thieves, people are thieves. You gotta let the people know that these people are thieves, and this is a thief. You can't trust him. That's that. Khalas. You can't be quiet about those types of things.
Sounds like scuba diving.
You might want to go kick your brother, man.
Anonymous. They say, Ustad,
He just goes right back in there and starts hitting that boulder again, man.
should we take loans to avoid late fees? The situation was out of our control.
The late fees are impermissible. It's not permissible to have late fees, asna. What they're doing is haram. You taking a loan that's gonna incur it's gonna be interest or what?
I think maybe just a loan from like
I mean, if you take a loan from a Muslim, that's not gonna require you to pay interest, then khalas. Because I mean, you're getting out of paying those late fees, which is not permissible either. You know. So I mean, if the person can't pay, he can't pay. Khalas, you can't. If the person's having trouble paying, which means that he's mu'asir, and now you go and put another fee on him, like a late fee, which is now going to make it more difficult for him to pay. Then all you're doing is just sending them more into poverty. Akhi. That's not permissible. That goes to show you the corruption of this economic system that we live in.
Mhm.
Like the whole system is to get you into debt. That's the whole thing, is to get you into debt. So it's set up like, look at these garbage houses that we have. Like this house right now. We sitting there talking about all these, fires in California. Yeah, if a fire came through here, this house would be burnt down in what?
An hour.
Probably not even an hour. It would go up in flames so fast, like seriously. But let's say 30 minutes to an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna pay how much? Come on, man. They're sitting there selling these houses, and to do what? You pay $300,000, $400,000 for a house like this. You go into debt. Then you go and you get a $30,000 car, go into debt.
Yeah.
People even getting their washing machine and dryer on debt.
Yeah.
Everything, and go get an iPhone on debt. So now you got all these bills, all this debt. That's the whole thing to trap you into the
So you can keep working.
and you are constantly just like what? You spending your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
You got a $300,000, $400,000 house that you got to pay off with interest.
Mm-hmm.
and you're making like, let's say that you have a decent job where you're making about $60,000 to $75,000 a year. How long is it gonna take you to pay that back that house?
So lifetime.
Yeah, it's cheaper for you to rent a house.
Just rent it. Well, it's rent it.
Yeah, it's cheaper for you to rent a house.
Well,
You paying $400,000, and on top of that, guess what? You still don't own the house even once you got the people think, oh, I own my. You don't own nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I stop paying property taxes on your house, and let's see if you own your house or not.
Mm-hmm.
Stop paying the property taxes and see if they don't come and snatch your house right away from you. You don't own nothing. So you sit there and spend $400,000. You sit there for like 60 years, paying that, trying to pay that money. You finally get the mortgage done when your hair is gray, and your grandchildren are about to go to college, And now what? You still don't own anything. You still got to pay property taxes for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So, and even while you're paying the mortgage, you're still paying property tax.
And with that riba too, it'll turn that 400K to $1 million real quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You'll be paying that off for like forever. I think.
Yeah.
This is besides the point about speaking about all this. If safe,
You're gonna have to go kick him, man,
no,
or
if safe,
send him in the back room.
if safe from Mujahid, they graduate, they get a diploma from high school. Fresno City, they won't charge you. They won't charge you for school, and they'll actually give you $3,000 a semester. So if safe Mujahid want to go to college, Fresno City down the street, they'll be eligible. Just put on the
That's the community college.
The one I go to.
Mm.
$3,000 a semester. So
That's the
3,000
community or the university?
No, community.
Oh.
So 3,000 each semester. That's 12,000 a year.
What is that for financial aid?
Financial aid.
Yeah, but you have to sign the draft papers for financial aid.
I didn't have to sign anything.
What's the draft paper?
I think you have to go fight with military.
Whenever you
and
turn
stuff.
18, they send you papers for all the U.S. citizens. You have to sign it so that if they ever do a draft, that you register for it.
They never did that before.
Yeah, and they didn't do it for me.
I kept putting it in the shredder. My grandma kept losing her marbles. She was just like, oh, they're gonna come and arrest you.
No, yeah.
SWAT team.
Shredding it.
No, but so they'll do it 3,000. I didn't have to sign nothing. You just have to sign the papers, just proof of income. Other than that, 3,000. Get Mujahid studying mechanics, or safe study mechanics. He studies agriculture, and there you go.
Well, he's gonna have to study building.
There you go.
When we go buy land out in the middle of nowhere, he's gonna be building the houses, man.
Agriculture. Someone studies agriculture.
Majed likes to plant stuff.
Or if you want, Safe could take that, I think that 8-month course of the mechanics, and he could work for MJ. $17 an hour full time. Get like more than $3,000 a month coming in, and I can help with whatever.
Next question.
No, I know about the 3,000 because I always catch checks at work. Every single time I said, how much should they give you a semester? So many different customers, they all tell me the same thing. All of them. Not one customer that I cash check from Fresno City College tell me something else.
Wait, clawing you or what? Oh, he doesn't want to be here with the people.
It's like, how much?
Yo, calm down, man. Let him go, man. He's gonna claw you up, Akhi.
Hassan, he says, can I skip the Ta'bir books phase and get into reading books and listening to Arabic lectures? I was born in an Arabic-speaking country and can understand a good portion of Quran and Hadith when read.
Do whatever you gotta do. I mean, the Ta'bir books obviously is better because it's conversational Arabic. You start to read the books, you're just gonna be reading a lot of. I mean, like, obviously, like what we read in books is not how we're gonna normally talk with people in Arabic. So, I would still advise you to. But a lot of that stuff, anyways, you just pick it up from just living in the country. If you're living in an Arab country and you're speaking it with the people, you'll pick all that stuff up, But, inshallah, it's up to you. I mean, you know your level, you know what you can handle.
One of it says, don't cast urinate on the walls. I fear that. don't cats urinate on the walls? I think they can like spray on the walls.
If they're not.
Male cats, they spray.
Yeah.
But now he's getting kicked out once he gets to that age. We're about to start sending them outside.
Are we gonna be taking the Ramadan book?
Yeah, but I don't know if we'll be live streaming it though. We might I don't know, man. I'll figure it out. Cause I want to kind of keep the Adab and Mufrad going, even in Ramadan. But we'll see, inshallah. I don't know.
If you travel during Ramadan, how long are you excused from fasting? Trip is planned for 1 week. Question by Logically Muslim.
As long as you're traveling. As long as you're considered a traveler, you're excused from fasting.
Will you have to make those days up? Will you have to make those days
course.
up? Okay.
Can you still fast them if you want? Can you fast them if you want?
You can fast, yeah. Yeah, you want to fast, you can. If it's not difficult for you, fast.
Abdullah bin Sadiq says, Assalamu alaikum, Ustad. I just recently came into contact with a brother that's studying in Sheikh Yahya's markaz. I think he meant to say he dispelled a lot of my doubts about going there and said he will help me. Anonymous says loans from
You shouldn't have any doubts about going there. If you have the chance to sit with Sheikh Yahya, you better take it. You better take it.
Get a degree and go. Anonymous says, Ustad, loans from other Muslims, but would it be wajib? I don't really know that many people well, plus who's going to loan to a student?
I mean, the whole thing, Akhi, I mean, this right here shows you how much we failed as Muslims in America, Muslims in the West. Because the Muslim children are still taking these loans. There's nothing set up in our communities because they're too busy focusing on raising $30,000 to get new carpet in the masjid or to do something with the windows. You know, it's like, you see, like, they're always raising money, like this astronomical amount of money for something in the masjid, right? But the community itself never benefits from any of this stuff. So you see, like, the community, nothing. For the children of the community, nothing. The only people that really benefit are like the children of the board members, you know? They're the ones that are getting all the money. When they're raising all that money, they're raising $30,000 for a carpet that costs $5,000 just so they can pocket the rest, you know? And you see that with all throughout the masajid, all throughout America. I mean, this is not specific here. It's common to everywhere you go where you see this. And you see that the community is nothing for the community, nothing. The kids now, they got to go to the kuffar to take loans. The kids, they got to go to kuffar to go to school. We don't even have schools set up in most of the Muslim communities around America. We don't have any programs to like where we have the money, where we have like people that come together and loan the kids the money so they can go to college and then they pay back, the masjid, or they pay back whoever loaned it from the Muslims. We don't have anything for anything in this, for our youth. We have no Muslim universities in America that are like really up to par with like, what they should be. You got these little online universities and all that, but actually it's like a joke, right? But there's nothing serious.
Can you get a PhD from?
Yeah, I mean everybody, like all these like hotel
Translator.
hospitality people and translators, they all get these like master's degrees from these online.
That's where you got his degree from.
They all do this, Akhi, because they just go online, they write up a little thesis paper, yippity yapping about nothing, and then they get their little master's degree in Islamic studies.
What is this?
Never sit with the ulama, never done anything. Akhi, that dude lived for the dunya his whole entire life. But there's nothing set up, Akhi. That's the failure that you see throughout the communities.
We don't even have a bookstore here. We don't even have
nothing, Akhi. You want to buy? You don't have a thobe store, bookstore.
Yeah.
Like Islam.
One top.
Fresno?
Huh?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
Where?
Pilates.
Pilates.
There's on Ashland and West.
Oh, they have a lot of hookah stuff in there though.
They actually sell thobes here.
Yeah, they sell.
I mean, they sell thobes at like, the supermarket, but I'm saying like,
International market. It's a Yemeni one.
Really?
Yeah, they sell over there.
Are they good?
It's all the way in the back.
Are they good those?
They're long.
They're long.
You're gonna be sweeping the floor with those thobes though. I mean, they're average. They're the your average common Saudi thobes or Yemeni thobes. But I'm saying, like, would you go there? No. But that's the only option. That makes sense.
I mean, because there's no Islamic presence. And that's why before I left Jacksonville, that was the one I think it might have been the last video I did on Institute, was talking about like Muslim money, like where is it going? You got all these Muslims out here with all this money, and they're all donating all the time to the masjid. Where is it going? Where is the benefit for the community? What's being done? So I mean, that's like you see, it's a travesty. It's a travesty. I mean, look, you sit over in a different masajid during Ramadan, and look how much money gets donated every single year. Yeah, sometimes up to $1 million. Where is it going?
Dollars.
Yeah. Where is it going?
We'd be good for life. Our children would be good for life, and their children would be good for
Yeah,
life.
I mean, with that $1 million, you could start setting up Muslim businesses, giving like jobs to Muslim kids, and then those businesses can start generating more funds for the community. More, the profit will go back to the masjid, and it can fund things like that. Where kids now he wants to go to college, now you have the money to support that, and the things like or just whatever. Ahmed needs a car, he needs to get a car because he wants to whatever he needs to feed his family, so you buy him a car so he can drive Uber or whatever, or DoorDash or something, so he can start making money, or maybe whatever.
Or drive to work in the first place.
Yeah, or just to have something to get to work, and he pays the masjid back. You can't even do that because the money's gone, akhi. It's all going into thieves' pockets, akhi. That's what you see all around America. All this money, where is it going? And a lot of it's going back to other people's countries. Go back and see, they got villas in their own countries, akhi. So he's going to sit here and be the imam of a masjid for like 10 years. He's, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, maybe 30 years. Once his kids are grown up and he's done, he's going right back to his country, and he's going to sit fat for the rest of his life because, khalas, that's where all the money went back to anyway.
That's what translators do. That's what translators do.
A lot of these dudes.
You didn't hear? You didn't hear?
No.
He's getting ready to leave.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very soon. Like maybe 2 years or less. He's getting ready to leave. That's it. His kids.
Because why has he got to do this anymore? Cause he got all the money.
Yeah.
He's been sitting in the back, building stuff. That's what they do.
That's nothing for the day.
That money doesn't even stay in the community a lot of the time.
He has a brand new electrical vehicle.
I really don't get all into specifics, man.
Yeah, I'm like, but Fatima said, Hamza, you can also leave Mama cooking at the door.
Huh?
She said, Hamza, you can also leave Mama cooking at the door.
Hey, where's the shawarma at, Akhi?
There was a shawarma. They ate him.
Man, we've been lied to, man.
No,
We've been bamboozled. Led astray.
Not lied. Let it straight.
I'm doing the Malcolm X movie thing, right?
Brothers. Yahya Saleh says, wait, what is that supposed to mean? You can leave Mama cooking out the door.
I don't know.
And then she said, I think when I didn't say anything about it, she said, period. Right. Hello. Oh, that's it? On a burger. Yahya Saleh says, what's the difference between a Salafi Mufti and a Sheikh?
Salafi Mufti and a Sheikh. I never heard of anybody have this discussion before. Sheikh is an old man. A Salafi Mufti is a person who's reached a high level of knowledge to where he can go through and understand the adillah and what it applies to.
Isn't it true no one below the age of 40 is allowed to be a
I mean, the word sheikh, anyways, is an old man. And he said it came in a poem from way before that they always use in books of Nahu. And where he said, "Za'amatni shaykhan wa lastu bi shaykhan, innama shaykhu man yadibbu dabibatan." So he said, like she claims that I'm a sheikh. Cause he's an older dude and he's trying to get with a younger girl. And she's like, "You're an old man." She says, "Za'amatni shaykhan wa lastu bi shaykhan." It's like she's claiming that I'm a sheikh, like I can't get down. He said, "But I'm not no sheikh. I'll show her." He said, "Inna ma shaykhu man yadibbu dabibat." And he said that the real sheikh, the real old man, is the one that, like his steps are like real close together when he walks. Because like as you get older, your body's not as flexible, so you can't like walk with these long strides. So you walk with these little. You ever seen Joe Biden walk? And he walks like every single step he takes, he's about to fall. It's like that. Almost time. I hope we don't get this thing taken down too, man. Two videos with the cat in it. 2 videos get taken down.
Abdullah bin Sadiq says, this just sounds familiar. How do I convince my father? He's saying no, but he said at the same time about me studying Islam before, but he accepted. He let my sister go alone to study business overseas.
What again?
This is the same brother who said about Sheikh Yahya's Markaz. He says, how do I convince my father? He's saying no. I mean, convince his father to go study at Sheikh Yahya's Markaz. But he said, he's saying no, but he said the same about me studying Islam before, but he accepted. He let my sister go alone to study business overseas.
Yeah, and if you wanted to go study business overseas, he'd probably let you too. Because it's dunya. Parents nowadays, especially Muslim parents, the last thing that they want their kids to do is go study Islam. Most of the Muslim parents, especially the ones that came to the West, they that's their nightmare, is that their kid wants to study Islam. They look at like, you're wasting your whole entire future. So I mean, how can you convince a person whose mentality is like that? You can't convince them, man. How would you even start? If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't, put that in the person's heart.
Because don't these parents even want someone to be consistently making dua for them after their death? If their kids die.
Actually, most of these people, they're not you think they came to America because they're concerned with this deen. Actually, they came to America or Britain or France or wherever they went, and Canada, because the last thing on their mind is this deen. That's that's maybe when they get sick and they feel like they're about to die, then all of a sudden the deen becomes important. Other than that, as long as he's healthy and wealthy, and please, man, the deen is the furthest thing from his mind. And then when he starts to see his child start to want to practice the deen, that's going to drive him crazy.
You look like it. You look like it.
I mean, look at it, man. I mean, look at like situations that we've seen. Where it's like, some brothers, the father would be happy with him running around, sleeping with like some hoochie mama Mexican girls from the street. But then if a Salafi girl from another country that's not from the country that he's from, and he wants to marry her, he throws a hissy fit. Sound familiar?
Experienced it.
Huh? Deja vu.
Totally, he's throwing jabs. No. No, of course. He caused a lot of drama. But at the end of the day, Allah said,
I mean, who was it that said, hey, go get some of those girls' phone numbers, right?
Yeah, believe it or not.
I know.
Tell them good morning, tell them how are you.
Don't you marry a girl from from another country. Along this time.
But those girls are from another country too.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, yeah. I said those girls are from another country too. Yeah.
No, but they're girlfriends.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. That's okay with the dad that came to America to get money.
Well, he wants to live what he wanted to go through me, right? He wants to live through me, and you put in that barrier. Like if you say you have so much money, but like you get it out. I have so much money. Okay, خلاص, you have so much money. Leave me alone. Why?
I done opened the door, Ibrahim. You better close the door fast.
I have so much money. خلاص, you have so much money. Why you bringing me into it? I'm the faqir, I'm the fascist, so why you...
You know what's funny though is that they sit there and run around and call us extremists. And they support the Houthis, and the Houthis is a terrorist organization. They're the terrorists, akhi. The Houthis are the people that support the Houthis. These Shia here, they're the terrorists.
And they support the U.S.
And
military.
they're all like, ain't nothing that we've ever been a part of has ever been on no terrorist watch list. So they're the terrorists. You know, more terrorists came out of Al-Azhar. You know, the people that caused a lot of the problems here in America originally, the first bombings, the Egyptians. Yeah. You know, so Allah Mustaan. Their sheikh, the main sheikh, was from Azhar. Yeah, biggest, the first bombing in the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an Egyptian sheikh. Yeah,
What do you do?
he's the one that like motivated them to go do it. You're gonna have to read about it, man. I can't explain too much on here because it's gonna get flagged again. Because I have to use too many words that would just like send the algorithm into a frenzy. Just go back and look up the first.
Egyptian.
No,
American.
I'll take
Egyptian.
The first Egyptian. But we're the extremists, right? Yeah.
They're extreme in their
Negligence.
sin.
Boy, negligence. You have to be, yeah.
They're fighting Israel.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say that. Wallahi, they do. They'll say we'll stop drinking Starbucks, but we'll open 5 smoke shops. What the yani?
Yeah, one that's gonna be right down the street from the masjid.
Right down the street,
Yeah,
right
like-
next to the
Yeah,
masjid.
smoke shop right next to the masjid.
You can see the neon signs.
but don't drink Starbucks, you know.
And they'll say, oh no, they'll say, we won't drink Starbucks, but you'll drink Coke. Okay, Coke, if anything, gives more money to
Actually, you won't drink Starbucks, but you're selling alcohol in your store. You know, it's like, come on, man. You know, again, the priorities of our communities is, but this is because it goes back to what? Who allows this stuff to go on? And these charlatan type imams, the people that don't, see, once that Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar, see, you go to the masjid, you just told the story about yesterday, right?
Oh, yeah.
The imam goes and makes inkar on him,
On Hamza.
for saying Ameen.
Yeah, I went at it with him too. I didn't know that.
But yeah, he's got all these guys that pray in the masjid. They sell alcohol in their stores. They own smoke shops, and he will not say anything about them. But you say Ameen, and he's got to stop you and tell you like why you tone it down a little bit. Stop saying Ameen loud.
He said, I'm gonna need you to quiet down.
I'm gonna need you to quiet down.
Yeah, something like that. I said, the Prophet said, Qulu, and he was right next to me. He said, Qulu. What is Qulu? Qulu with the voice, and I just walked out. I said, Fil Hadith, Qulu, walked out, and that's it.
Yeah, this is why we have the problems we have. And then the people that try to come and advise the people, tell the people, what do? Run them out. So Allah run them out in the end. So so
Also, he also
that means
started,
like the final what do you say that?
final countdown.
No, in the end, the victory is gonna be for the people of Taqwa. It's not gonna be yeah.
Surah Al-Qasas.
Go ahead.
Just Iran, he started
We're like venting tonight, man.
He started now. He's been starting to, because he sees him and the Abdullah Suri. The translator starts now starts saying more Assalamu alaikum to him exclusively. Walks up to him, gives him Zam. Him and Suri. He even walked up to Suri and told him. He said, we could use you in the Saturday halaqah. Why don't you just give your own talk? We'll let you do it. We, meaning him, and because he started hanging out with me. Wallahi, that's all. He would never walk up to him before that and do that. And even one of the main guys of that halaqah, translator is a puppet, told me, or maybe he's a puppet translator. He goes up to me and he says, "Oh, he said, you're all arrogant now because you don't want to sit on our halaqah." How is this? Well, he said, you have kibir. I said, kibir? I said, do you even know what the Prophet said about kibir? He said, "Batul al-haqq wa ghamd an-nas." He said, "Really? I didn't know that." I said, yeah, I almost said, you don't even know anything.
They didn't teach you that in English translation. Go ahead. Go ahead. What's the next question?
Huh?
Who's this
I'll
puppet?
tell you after live stream. Sure. Qulu amin. And his face was like, he was like, how come all of a sudden you're talking to me like this? I was like, well, because after what Brother Abdul Malik showed me and told me, I was like, oh, Allah, you're a mujrim. I'm like, I don't tell him that's an
Yeah,
mujrim.
because that's what it is. You see that they sit there and they're quiet with so much garbage. But then when you practice the sunnah, all of a sudden they want to speak out. That's what, but this is from the traits of the munafiq and the munafiqeen.
He told me.
What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say about the munafiqeen?
يعمرون
يَعْمُرُونَ بِالْمُنْكَرِ وَيَنْحَوْنَ عَنِ الْمَعْرُوفِ. This is وَيَقْبِضُونَ أَيْدِيَهُم. نَسَوا اللَّهَ فَنَسِيَهُم. So this is their traits, that they, that when they do inkar on the ma'ruf. And when they do the amr, they do the ya'murun bil munkar. They do the opposite of what the people are supposed to be doing. So
one time I was wearing a short clothes. No, not short, but it was shorter than usual. And he walks up to me and he tells me, you look like you're from the Taliban. I'm out of nowhere. You're making a mockery of me. You're supposed to be the imam.
The Taliban don't wear those.
But
They wear like these. They wear these.
he was basically saying you look like a terrorist.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
I should have been there. I would have corrected him on that.
And then one time he was like saying, "Oh," and he doesn't stop. And one time he was like, "Hamza, your throat was a little too high." I look at him and said, "Alhamdulillah," and I just walked over.
It stops like
that. He was sweeping up the floor. All that's left is his mouth.
grab the phone from him. You don't want no tea.
Abdullah ibn Sadaq, he says, he let my sister travel at 16.
Yeah, because it's for dunya.
Alone. He says, that's why I'm trying to find a job online. He said, I'm from a country called Burma.
Birmingham?
No, Burma.
Burma.
Birmingham's a city in the UK.
Isn't Burma? It's a country.
They
I
got
know
like-
there's a place in India. Isn't it in India? It's right next to India, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's where all the Muslims are getting killed
Mm.
by the British government.
No questions, we go home.
Striving Slave says, I saw that two people of age, sisters, can share a bed if they have their own comforters and don't share comforters. What's a comforter? Pillows.
No comforters like a big blanket thing that they put on top. And the Prophet ﷺ said, وَفَارَقْ بَيْنَهُمْ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ. Once they come of that age, of tamyiz, and 10 years old, and separate them in the beds. وَفَارَقْ بَيْنَهُمْ بِالْمَضَاجِعِ.
Also, I found the question you asked me.
Me?
Someone asked this, so we're just gonna say it. If one is praying in Jama'ah, should they say Ameen after the Imam and also after they recite Surah Al-Fatiha themselves, or just after the Imam?
The Prophet ﷺ said, إذا قال الإمام ولا الضالين فقولوا آمين. So once you hear the Imam say ولا الضالين, then you say Ameen.
What if you say it, like you recite your Fatiha, and then you say it on your
No,
own?
but you say it when the Imam says it.
Yeah, but what if someone does do that? Like, what if they just did it out of forgetfulness?
No, but
Is
it's
it valid?
no, it's no problem.
But you can recite your Fatiha alongside with the Imam?
Yeah, but you don't have to say Ameen after you recite Surah Al-Fatiha for yourself.
Oh, okay.
You just got to recite Surah Al-Fatiha, but the Ameen is with the Imam.
Mm.
Is that hadith authentic? If you say Ameen alongside with the angels, you
Yeah.
sense it for you.
Yeah.
And that's minor or major sense? Or
Minor
that's
sense.
Just online.
Huh? Oh, you just standing up?
LEDs? LEDs?
No, it's
Projector?
The disco ball?
it's what do you call that?
Starlink?
No, it's
You got it on Amazon, didn't you?
the Northern Lights projector thing.
Oh.
It just does it like the
Oh, I see it now.
it's got like stars and stuff like that.
That's actually really cool.
I can't believe that those are real.
What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
You've seen that?
No, I never seen it, but I've seen pictures.
So wait, what's the hukum of two sisters sharing a bed with their own comforters?
No, they should stay. They should separate. I mean, if it's like an older sister sleeping in the bed with like a younger sister because she's scared or something of that nature, but not to sleep together on a regular basis. There's a reason why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that. وَفَارِقْ بَيْنَهُمَا فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ. You separate them in the places of sleeping. I mean, if it's a huge bed to the point where they can be separated, like a king size bed or something where one sleeps way on the other side and they put something in between them, because maybe they only have one bed, but it depends on the size of the bed, but to keep them separate when they're sleeping. You don't want them rolling over and next thing you know they hugging each other in their sleep or something.
Anonymous says, when making wudu with a bottle, how do you do the feet? Basically, although I pour water on foot, some water from previous washing in the wudu is going to be used to wash my foot.
Pour the water on your foot. When I was in Atlanta, we used to make wudu. Cut the bottle, and we used to make wudu with that much water. When you sit there and make sure that every single drop that you spread it,
What happened?
we used to make wudu with that much water.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Huh?
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
For all of wudu.
One wudu.
For everything.
That's a lot.
That's not a lot of water. What are you talking about?
Most people just turn the.
No, I mean, they use gallons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They use 10 gallons of water just to make wudu right now.
One time I made a full wudu, clean wudu. A lot less than that.
Clean wudu? What's a dirty wudu?
No, you know what I mean. Like a perfect.
What's the amount in the hadith? It's 2.
Yeah, that's what I measured it. I measured it out, and it came out to that
Okay,
amount
then
of
never
water.
mind. I didn't know it was from a hadith.
Yeah, it's from a hadith. I measured it out into a cup, and then I cut the cup to exactly that measurement that was mentioned in the
I did
hadith.
that, but my house cleaner kept throwing away my cup.
House clean. Fatima says, Imam, you've been fasting. Look like you've been eating all the ice cream.
Huh?
She says you look like you've been eating all the ice cream.
I haven't been eating no ice cream. Only maybe once in the last 4 weeks.
Hey, if we finish class early, we go home. Ice cream we go.
I texted Abdullah, so I'm gonna be giving them his books tonight.
Come on. Hurry up. Go home.
Hey, you drink it straight up. How hot is it? I can't even hold the cup.
Blow it.
It's amazing
it's-
though, right?
It's haram to blow on your food or drink, right?
Is it?
No.
Oh,
Is it makruh? It's makruh, right?
What's the deal?
I don't know. No, I think is it? Is it makruh? Is it makruh?
Oh, you gotta bring evidence to say that's makruh, right? I mean, I know about la tatanafas fil inat. Don't breathe because when you're drinking out of a vessel, and if you're gulping out of the vessel, you breathe because you're gulping too much. And the Prophet ﷺ said, "La tatanafas fil inat." Maybe that's because of the translation of the people. They say, "Don't blow in your vessels," but you're not, because what you're doing is you're gulping the water and you're breathing. When you breathe, what are you doing? You're releasing spit back into the water. So now you go and give this person the next person, because the way that they used to drink water or anything, if they had milk or whatever, they used to have it in a big vessel and they would pass it around and each person would drink from it. So if you're drinking and gulping it and breathing back into the vessel, then you're like putting your spit back into the vessel, then you pass it on to the next person. That's the prohibition.
So then, is it permissible to blow on your food to cool it down?
Yeah, it's yours. Nobody else is drinking from it, right? Yeah. Because that's not the meaning of the hadith. Yeah. Now, what's he doing?
Who?
You.
Oh. Ismail, I think, Mosaic says, is it permissible to take free mixing classes?
Are you going to study free mixing or what?
I think, like, such as a girl going to English class in Yemen as well.
No.
Free mixing, that you choose.
Yeah. Free mixing is not permissible in any of those circumstances.
So what about taking their numbers?
What are you talking about? Getting the girl's numbers?
No, you don't get it.
Huh?
You don't get it.
I'm lost.
You're the one who mentioned it.
What did I mention?
Texting girls' numbers.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about your situation, yeah.
If we see that Imam recently shaved / cut the top sides of their beard, is that a bad sign? Like, if an Imam trimmed his beard, is that a bad sign?
If he's an imam, he's a person of knowledge, and he's cutting his beard, that's a very bad sign.
That was the last question.
I mean, the whole point is that you're going to rely on a person who's going to teach the people the sunnah and go against the sunnah. I mean, what type of person is that? You see an imam, and he's trimming his beard, and he's dragging his thobe on the ground. You know, come on. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the people say, oh, but this is just the clothing. Nah, but these are signs that this person doesn't take this stuff seriously. You know, especially when the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, he said, وَمَا تَحْتَ الْكَعْبِ فِشْ. No. مَا أَسْفَلَ مِنَ وَفِي النَّارِ. You know? So, I mean, that's not a joke, akhi. That's not something to be taken lightly.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not something to sit there and say, you know, make fun of somebody for when they take that seriously. You see, like now, you know, people, they see your thobe up higher, because now it's a style in Saudi Arabia and Yemen to have the thobe all the way down to the ground. It's a fashion. So when you wear your thobe up higher, the people look at you like, you know, and this is the Saudis, they told me this when I was in Saudi Arabia. They said, yeah, we think it's weird when you walk around with your thobe up, you know, above your ankles. They said it's weird. Because they said with us, we like to keep it as, you know, low. You see, they walk into the masjid and the thobe is just cleaning the ground. You know, this doesn't even make sense, anyways. What would you want a white thobe for?
It's gonna get dirty.
Dragging on the ground. Yeah, it makes zero sense whatsoever. But it's because Shaitan is like, you know, put it in their heads. This is cool. Yeah. This is the fashion.
This floors ain't clean either.
Oh, definitely the outside.
Yeah.
And you get out your car and you step in the desert.
Just dust.
Dust all over the place.
Yeah, now it's al-aks. The guys are lowering their thobes and the girls are bringing up theirs. Like this shoe does. The Arabs, or what do you want to call them.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.